Hello everyone, this is Skarest bringing you an exciting episode of Skarest on Minecraft. In this case, we're going to be taking a peek at a map pack that I found on the Minecraft forums. This is a Spot the Difference puzzle map. It was done by, I believe it's pronounced Lukey's. I'll go ahead and have the link to it in the description below. We went ahead and took a peek at the rules already, so let's go ahead and get a start on this game. Now, it's kind of got a little bit of a Portal vibe to it in the sense he tries to use the same type of sense of humor as GLaDOS did. It works to a point. I guess it really depends on your perspective of that. Obviously, GLaDOS is extremely well done, written by a professional team. So, we're going to head and, like I said, get started into this one. There's lots and lots of signs around due to the fact that it's just trying to explain how the game works. I'll go ahead and explain how this puzzle works as well as we're looking at them. Basically, if you noticed on the floor that there are grids. There are 16 grids. What we're looking for is the difference in 4 of these grids. So out of the 16, 12 of them will be identical, 4 of them will be different. What we want to do is stand on the pressure plates of anyone that is different. If we stand on a pressure plate of anyone that is not different, that pressure plate right there, we need to go ahead and stand on to reset. If we gotten any of the ones that are correct, then what we want to go ahead and do is, if you look right in front of me, you'll go ahead and see the glowstones that are up there. Those will go ahead and light up. So if we did get on the correct ones, those will light up, letting us know how many we have correct so far. Now, this first particular puzzle is not all that difficult. It is honestly just a trial kind of tutorial. There we go. It's kind of teaching us how this is going to work. Now, I think I did fairly decent throughout this entire puzzle, as in throughout the entire map, that is, excuse me. There's one part that had a fair bit of difficulty on, but we won't see that until the second video. But it was a little bit tricky for me, and I'm going to need your guys' help when we get to that part, to be honest, because I still don't know what the difference is. So we see that first one, obviously easy enough. It's just one of the white blocks missing. And we got our light up there, so we know we stepped on the right one. Now, what I've been doing for these beginning maps is, after I get through this, is I go right in between 2 of them, and that way I can just compare the 2. If I spot a difference, we know that we should have an issue at that point in time. In this case, we find on the white block right there, we have a different stone. Makes it nice and easy. If you do happen to have a texture pack on yours that is different, it needs to make sure that it is a quantifiable difference, a noticeable difference in the stone textures. If it's not, you're not going to be able to spot the differences at that point in time, and that's going to really screw you up. So we got the 4 of those, pretty easy. We went ahead and heard the door open, all 4 are lit up. We know that we're good to go. So we're going to head upstairs and go on to the next puzzle. No, I think the rooms are well designed. I just like the look of it. It's very solidified. Only thing I wish he would have done is maybe somehow add in a bit of music. Would have been nice, but you got what you got. We have right in front of us, we can see what is their version of a Wheatley. It's a good way to put it. And if you haven't played Portal 2 to know who Wheatley is, get to it, please. In fact, play through Portal 1 as well. Both the games happen to be just great, good puzzle games. If puzzle games stress you out, maybe not so much. In fact, if puzzle games stress you out, watching me play this may not be the best thing in the world. I know I have a hard time watching other people play puzzle games, because for that lovely reason is, when you're not the one playing, you can spot the differences a mile away. You see it immediately. And you just want to yell at your screen, "It's right there, you idiot!" Well, in this case, I get to play the idiot. So, it's gotten a little bit more complicated in our design here. Not too much. They do most definitely step up in difficulty. I give the designer actually a lot of credit, Lucky's. He did a great job overall with the entirety of the map. The levels stepped up. They didn't suddenly jump massively in difficulty. You kind of got a more of a gradual pace step up. It was actually surprisingly well done. And which, when you're dealing with someone who's doing this on their own individual, it's not a team of experts, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Even teams of experts run into big problems where they will design a map that's just exceptionally too hard. When we spot our difference in the stone there, and then we easily spot the one that's right there, Now that puts us at 3 so far, so we're going back through so I can go ahead and try to find what that fourth difference that I missed was. Like I said, the easiest way that I've seen to do it is definitely just compare them side by side. You should be able to spot the differences without too much of a difficulty for the most part. I say for the most part because later on these puzzles do get a wee bit on the tricky side. Now that was the first one that we went ahead and spotted. That was the easiest one of the group. Now what I noticed there was the slight color difference in that blue stone, which I did not notice before, which gives us our fourth one. So bravo, bravo. Move on we go. So we're 2 puzzles into this and making a pretty decent time, only about 6 minutes into the actual puzzle map. So not doing too shabby. Now, I tried to stay long enough to make sure everyone could read it. I was reading it myself while I was playing through. So I do ask for any future videos. If I seem to move through these type of things too quickly where you don't have time in order to read them, just go ahead and ask me to slow it down a bit. As long as it's not being unreasonably slow, I'll make sure I go ahead and try to accommodate. Otherwise, you do have the pause button, go ahead and hit it, and you get plenty of time. And bad joke of the day. I got wood. Now this is where you start to see a little bit more of complication come into it. You're getting far more into the brick variety, or in this case wood variety. So you're seeing a lot of different colors. Adds a bit more complexity into it. Now the only problem when you're comparing the first 2 like that and there's a problem immediately, you're going to have to go to some other ones to compare, because you need to see which one is actually the correct one and which one's the wrong one. So if you happen to get 2 right off the bat and they do look different, make sure you move on to a couple more, do some comparison, get an idea of what you're looking at, and do this rule for any type of puzzle maps that you have. Now the nice thing is that unless you happen to have a photographic memory, you won't have these memorized when it comes to your turn if you decide to play through it yourself. So it does give you the chance to play through it yourself. Or of course if you just want to torture little brother, little sister, have mom jump on in there. Have good laughs for all. Record it, throw it up on YouTube, and get a few laughs out of it. Now this is the first one out of the 3 so far that gave me a little bit of a challenge. So it's going to take me a bit longer than the other ones did, but not too bad. I'm sure there's quite a few out there already who are watching me and just looking going, it's right there, come on. It's a lot easier when you're looking at it from the from backseat driving is a good way to put it. You always spot everything and see the differences. So I'm going back through right now, attempting to find what the differences are, what I missed. I've been looking at the grain on there, trying to see if there's any slight difference in colors that I'm not noticing, anything of that nature, but it's not popping out to me quite yet. So I know we got the first one already. So we're just looking for that elusive 1. Now the one on the left, we know there's a difference on that one as well. And everything on that particular one looks fine, so we're moving on. And still not finding any difference in them. Just trying to give myself a straight-on perspective. That way I'm not looking at it as an angle and just seeing that dead-on. Is there a difference in these two? Now, you could go around and do the reset and attempt to, cheat your way through it and just keep jumping on the ones until you figure out which one is the missing one. It's not fun that way. It's a little cheap. And we see the difference. Oh wait, that one I already did. I thought it might have been a different one, but that's the one I already stepped on. And like I said, I know some of you guys right now are just freaking out. And now we finally see the difference in the stone right by the pressure plate. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next map. Now this should be the last map of this particular video. I am one of the 99%. Are we trying to make a little bit of political humor there? Possibly. Now this is when you start to see a little bit of 3D come into your maps, into your puzzles now. Instead of it just being the flat tile sets, we went ahead and he's added the 4 blocks that you see around the corner, adding a little bit of 3D into it. I ended up falling off the top up there. This is the point in time where I realized that, especially when going into this design of them now, that standing up top and getting an overview of everything is a darn good idea. So we see the difference right there on that particular stone, right by the pressure plate again. Just confirmed it by looking over at the other one. And everything on this one looks normal. So we got one of the 4 down. No differences noticed there. Now, even when I am up top, I may notice immediately a difference in one. I don't like to jump to it. I try to avoid bouncing around all the different puzzles. I want to go through each one of these in order. That way I don't lose my way, I don't skip any, and I get a chance to look at every single one and don't accidentally mess anything up. Okay, so we've gotten half the room done, and we've only managed to find one difference so far. Looking at the stones themselves, the ones that are raised up, just to see if I can notice anything weird on those. Everything's looking normal on that particular tile set. And voila, we see a difference immediately. Well, at least I saw it immediately this time. Stepped over just 100% confirm. It's just kind of a bad habit of mine. I don't feel like having to reset if I can avoid it. So we see we got 2 of the puzzles done, and we've still got 2 more we need to find, with 4 tile sets we have not checked. And noticed right away the cracked one over on the left. And that one we saw when we were up top, where one of the stones on the side was covered with moss. So we went ahead and finished that map up. Okay, folks, we're going to go ahead and pick this up in the next video. I do thank you all for watching. If you like this at all, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I do ask you to go ahead and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or anything of that nature, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, folks, I do thank you for watching. Keep on gaming.